In the remote and foreboding wilderness of Vietnam's Con Tum province, where the tangled jungle canopy obscured the sky and the very earth seemed to pulse with an ancient, primal energy, whispered tales of the Nguoi Rung, the people of the forest, cast a haunting shadow over the land. For U.S. troops patrolling these treacherous lands, the encounters with these enigmatic creatures were the stuff of nightmares. Deep within the dense underbrush, amidst the oppressive silence broken only by the rustle of leaves and the distant calls of unseen creatures, they stumbled upon beings that defied all logic and reason. Gary Linderer, a seasoned veteran of the 101st Airborne's long-range reconnaissance patrols, bore witness to one such encounter that would haunt him for the rest of his days. Amidst the oppressive foliage, he locked eyes with a creature that seemed to straddle the line between man and beast, deep-set eyes glinting with an otherworldly intelligence, a towering figure with broad shoulders and long, muscular arms that moved with an unsettling grace. His comrades dismissed the encounter as nothing more than a sighting of the infamous rock apes, but Linderer knew better. This was no mere rock ape. This was something far more primal, far more ancient, lurking in the shadows of the jungle like a specter from another world. And Linderer was not alone in his terror. Army Sergeant Thomas Jenkins and his platoon faced a barrage of stones hurled by these mysterious creatures, their reddish-brown fur blending seamlessly with the dense foliage as they vanished into the depths of the forest, leaving only fear and confusion in their wake. Even the Viet Cong and North Vietnamese soldiers, hardened by years of conflict, spoke in hushed tones of the Nguoi Rung, their encounters with these elusive beings shrouded in mystery and dread. But it was the discovery of Nguoi Rung footprints by Dr. Vo Quy, a respected ornithologist and environmental researcher, that sent shivers down the spines of even the most skeptical minds. The casts revealed footprints wider than human feet, too large to belong to any known ape species, hinting at the existence of a creature beyond comprehension. As zoologist John McKinnon delved deeper into the mysteries of the region, he uncovered a world teeming with secrets, a tiny, pristine corner of the world where man-like footprints hinted at the existence of a species long thought to be the stuff of legend. While skeptics dismissed the tales of the Nguoi Rung as mere folklore, those who dared to venture into the heart of Vietnam's untamed wilderness knew the truth, that amidst the shadows of the jungle, something ancient and primal lurked, waiting to reveal itself to those brave enough to seek it out. And as the echoes of war faded into the mists of time, the legend of the Nguoi Rung would endure, a testament to the enduring mysteries of the human experience.
Amidst the suffocating embrace of Vietnam's dense jungles, where the very air seemed to conspire against intruders, whispered tales of the rock apes spread like a sinister shadow, casting a pall of unease over the hearts of soldiers. These elusive beings, known as Batututs or jungle people, were the stuff of nightmares incarnate. With fiery red hair and features twisted into grotesque mimicry of humanity, they lurked in the shadows, their presence heralded by the sinister rustle of leaves and the malevolent gleam of fanged mouths. Soldiers spoke in hushed tones of harrowing encounters with these abominations, recounting tales of eyes as black as the abyss and limbs that moved with unnatural grace. The very earth trembled beneath their weight as they traversed the treacherous terrain, their eerie cries echoing through the night like the wails of lost souls. But it was their insatiable thirst for blood that chilled the blood of even the bravest warriors. With razor-sharp fangs measuring inches in length, they descended upon their prey with savage ferocity, tearing flesh from bone with reckless abandon. Despite the horror that gripped their hearts, soldiers dared not speak of the rock apes, fearing that to utter their name aloud would be to summon the very demons themselves. And yet, their presence lingered like a festering wound, a constant reminder of the terrors that lurked just beyond the safety of the campfire's flickering light. Speculation ran rampant among the ranks, each wild theory more unsettling than the last. Were they the twisted remnants of orangutans, driven mad by centuries of isolation? Or perhaps they were something even more sinister, a malevolent force summoned from the depths of the abyss to wreak havoc upon unsuspecting souls. Even attempts to capture or photograph the creatures met with failure, their elusive nature rendering them all but impossible to pin down. And so the legend of the rock apes grew, each whispered tale adding fuel to the fires of fear that burned deep within the hearts of those who dared to tread upon the cursed soil of Vietnam's jungles. In the end, the truth behind these monstrous apparitions remained as elusive as the creatures themselves, leaving only the chilling certainty that some horrors are best left undisturbed, lest they rise from the shadows to claim their next victim in the dead of night.
As the army tunnel rats descended deeper into the labyrinthine tunnels of the Viet Cong, their senses heightened, their nerves taut with anticipation of the dangers that lurked in the shadows. But nothing could prepare them for what they would encounter in the depths of that ancient subterranean world. As they reached the main chamber, a sense of unease settled over them like a shroud. There were no booby traps, no signs of life, only an eerie stillness that hung heavy in the air. And then they saw it, an oil lamp flickering in the darkness, casting dancing shadows upon the walls. Moving cautiously forward, they uncovered a tarp, beneath which lay a set of stone stairs, ancient and weathered, leading deeper into the earth. With guns drawn and flashlights piercing the darkness, they descended into the unknown, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and curiosity. But what awaited them at the bottom of those stairs would defy all logic and reason. Beneath the glow of their flashlights, they beheld a scene straight from their darkest nightmares. Vietnamese figures, dressed as VC, but with vacant stares and bodies swaying rhythmically, as if in a trance. Their weapons lay forgotten, rusting away in a corner, while at the head of the chamber loomed a golden icon of unspeakable horror, a naked woman with the lower half of her body twisted into the grotesque form of 8 tentacles. Terror gripped their hearts as they stood frozen in horror, the chilling realization dawning upon them that they had stumbled upon something far beyond their comprehension, something ancient and malevolent that had slumbered in the depths of the earth for untold centuries. But as they turned to flee, a woman's voice pierced the silence, calling out to them with a haunting melody that sent shivers down their spines, a siren song luring them ever deeper into the abyss. With trembling hands, they rigged the entrance with C4, their minds reeling with the impossibility of what they had witnessed. And as they made their escape, the echoes of that haunting voice followed them, a reminder of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of the world, waiting to ensnare the unwary in its web of terror.
In the heart of the Vietnam War, amidst the chaos and uncertainty, a group of soldiers stationed in Da Nang found themselves face to face with a phenomenon beyond their comprehension. Guard duty was no stranger to them, but that night was different. The air hung heavy with the weight of the jungle, yet they remained vigilant, their senses heightened by the anticipation of danger. Then she appeared. At first, they mistook her for some kind of glider, a silent specter cutting through the darkness. But as she drew nearer, they realized she was no machine. She was a woman, cloaked entirely in black. Her presence was both mesmerizing and chilling. Long black hair cascaded over shoulders as dark as midnight, and her figure, though ethereal, exuded a strange allure. But it was her wings that defied all logic, bat-like appendages stretching out from her back, propelling her through the air with an otherworldly grace. Luff, luff. The sound of her flight echoed through the night as she hovered mere feet above the stunned soldiers. They watched in awe as she gracefully changed direction, disappearing into the horizon as mysteriously as she had arrived. Initially hesitant to speak of the encounter, the soldiers grappled with the surreal experience. Fearful of ridicule, they kept the sighting to themselves, haunted by the unanswered questions that lingered in its wake. Was she a shapeshifter, a witch, or something even more inexplicable? Some whispered of a portal to another dimension, a brief glimpse into a realm beyond comprehension. For one soldier, the encounter left an indelible mark, casting the war in an even more surreal light. To him, the flying woman became a symbol of the unknown, a harbinger of fate looming over the battlefield. In the midst of the chaos and brutality of war, the soldiers found themselves confronted not only by the horrors of battle, but by the unexplainable, the inexplicable. A reminder that even in the darkest of times, mysteries beyond imagination may reveal themselves, if only for a fleeting moment.
In the dense jungles of Vietnam, where the shadows seemed to stretch endlessly, and the foliage obscured even the faintest glimmer of sunlight, Tales of phantoms and malevolent spirits were whispered among the local Montagnard tribes, with a sense of dread that sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. To the American Marines stationed in these treacherous lands, these stories were nothing more than superstitions, dismissed as folklore born of ancient fears. They sought guidance from the locals, eager to navigate the hostile terrain, but were met with reluctance from those who dared not venture into the darkest depths of the jungle, where the spirits known as Ma were said to dwell among the trees. At first, the Marines shrugged off these warnings, confident in their modern weapons and military prowess. But as they penetrated deeper into the unforgiving wilderness, the line between myth and reality began to blur in ways they could never have imagined. Starting in 1965, reports began to surface among American troops of eerie encounters with ghostly figures that moved with an unnatural grace through the dense canopy. Others spoke of fanged creatures with eyes as black as the abyss, lurking in the shadows, waiting to pounce on unsuspecting soldiers and drag them into the depths of the jungle, never to be seen again. Terrifyingly, some of these creatures seemed impervious to gunfire, their bodies shrugging off bullets as if they were nothing more than pesky insects. It was a nightmare come to life, a battle against forces beyond comprehension. Desperate to rid the jungle of these supernatural threats, the military turned to drastic measures. Agent Orange and Napalm were deployed, unleashing a hellish inferno that consumed everything in its path, stripping away the dense foliage and laying bare the secrets hidden within. And so, the triple canopy jungle that had once provided sanctuary to the malevolent spirits was reduced to ashes, but not without a heavy toll. The flames that licked the sky illuminated the horrors of war in all their grotesque reality, leaving scars on both the land and the souls of those who bore witness to its devastation. In the end, the jungle may have been tamed, but the memory of the phantoms that haunted its depths would linger on, a reminder of the thin veil that separates the world of the living from the realm of the dead.